Before we start the video, if you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't subscribed but you have already watched my videos, hit subscribe also for more good videos. And if you are already subscribed, hit that notification bell to never miss my single upload. And with that said, let's get on with the video.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
To hide their gender, right?
Huh? Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room.
She could have been ambushed, for God's sake.
She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Yeah, right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? I like this song though.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys'
By
locker
the way, I
room
think,
somehow?
I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main
Oh, that
hall.
one that broke in the handbook, right?
What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
I thought I missed.
No, that's wrong!
I actually thought I missed the whole thing and I would have been mad.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
He just looks normal, as if nothing had happened, as if nothing embarrassing happened to him.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yep.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
I mean, what if it was broken after the crime scene, after the crime had happened?
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room.
Hello?
So I guess so.
Ambushed.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
That it then? Hiro was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya's the one who did it, really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say?
Just a silent type.
There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
Or the wall?
What? What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Oh, we have
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Alright, Pieces, they're gonna take a snack and they're just gonna go somewhere. Before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead, and where she took us was... Oh, the same crime scene?
The girls' locker room?
In a way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
And probably Kyoko had it. Probably Kyoko done it before.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So
Better be
just
some,
leave this to me.
Crazy twist.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands through in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Oh my god.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled. Wait, was I right?
This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
So I kind of knew it. I was thinking of a joke where she could have had you know, and I thought about it. I don't know if I could say it in front of camera, but apparently never mind about it.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
They're awfully calm.
What?
There we go.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
So he was dressing like a girl then?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, now I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh?
Dang.
Interesting.
He's just so unimpressed about anything.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Wow.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy? The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room, and the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
I mean, come on, you could have said to hide the killer's gender.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. Knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Ah, he's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Why?
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Why do you have to do
Well,
it?
I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
You're really trying to hit the crime on Genocide Jack?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
You know, you realize, even if we vote for Genocide Jack, you'd have been killed if you're not even the culprit.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Oh no.
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, we're stuck.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility, because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer is a guy then, right?
I got it!
Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to be a guy. But there's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Alright. Tell us the count. Oh, we're gonna do this.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Oh. Right.
Shoot!
I probably should do
Isn't
this
there a
very
single
early.
clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over.
Well, he's
You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! And only the killer!
Oh, there we go.
No, that's wrong!
Just about to disappear.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag.
So that's why it was blue. I was kind of confused why it's blue. Like, because blue sounds like a guy color, you know?
And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd. Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Maybe that's the reason.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much.
So that's
Enough
someone.
so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
So that person he was meeting with him, killer then.
Oh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
Oh.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Alright. Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow it's really hard to believe. Alright, I guess we're doing this somehow. I don't know. You can get it to us to account them. You have to use the fast
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
Yep.
He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I mean, he's a boy,
I
right?
got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
It could be. I don't know about that.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Alright, I want to...
My tracksuit is black.
Alright, I want to do this. I want to slash in, okay?
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
So, because from your
I have
body,
a white tracksuit, personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
the warehouse, alright?
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
What? He's right, what he said just now is really odd. How did he know something like that on the night of the murder, right before nighttime? Chihiro was spotted leaving the warehouse. Since she was stuffing some blue-sized clothes into a duffel bag, presumably she was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found at the crime scene. Celeste had not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. Wait.
Why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean,
I know what it is,
the
I know what it is,
specific
I know what it is, I know what it is.
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
Yotaka said it was right because...
So, what you're
this next
saying
person,
is,
oh my God, it's
the
him,
killer
right?
was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Is it really
No,
him?
it's wrong.
He said it without even realizing. Why is he
Hold
so
on a
dumb?
second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him. Yeah. Yep.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
Is it really Mondo?
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
But why though?
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was
Dang, I even like Mondo. What the heck? He's a killer?
is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility! Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony, when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Yeah.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it?
Yoko! What the heck? You're so good at this.
Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
Why though?
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
It's the third choice. It's because I hate him. Oh, we can't do that, man. The way he was acting, the way he talked. Oh no. Could have been Eddie, except that one of course, because that's just disrespectful. He was acting.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off.
Oh, we don't have a second chance now?
Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
Ah, alright. Interesting.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude.
Oh.
Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
She's so observant.
You notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
And genocide, Jack.
Mondo, was it really you?
No.
Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
Oh yeah, incorporated in the game that they were like best bros or something.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
That's so
That's
cringe.
what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Stop with that voice.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Oh, come on,
Jeez,
really?
does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... Here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Found it on the ground, right? It must belong to I don't know, it could have been anyone. Heroes, right?
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
Yes.
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How, precisely, did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbook break? There's only one possible explanation. Oh yeah, Monokuma said about its big foot or something. I think that's it.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Come on, Monokuma. Spill the tea, spill the beans, spill the information, whatever.
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
I promise, wait, this not Pinky promise, I will not break my handbook. And I wish you have a Pinky, but you apparently don't have a.
Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break! I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Oh.
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
Somehow.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Oh.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna? It had to be the one who wore all the clothes in the sauna. It was... Wait, who wore all the clothes? Oh yeah! Also, if you don't know about this, apparently Mondo and Kiyotaka had a endurance contest in a sauna, and apparently he's the only one who has their all clothes in for some reason. So that must be him, right?
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago. And
See,
for the
what did I
contest,
say?
Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Oh, we're now getting 3 truth bullets, okay.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during the sauna showdown. If I can disprove that, then that will show that the handbook Mondo must actually be.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, it's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
Yep.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such,
that's what I kind of
I
knew with
decree
the...
that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
That's what I kind of knew with Monokuma's hint about what he said in the investigation. I don't know which part it is, but I might take a screenshot of it.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch!
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning?
Oh, we're gonna do this again.
That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Alright, we're gonna do this again. So... Alright, there we
Here's
go.
exactly what happened! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. Then, removing the bloody poster...
Oh wait, what? So I didn't have anything right. I need to rearrange the bits of the case. Oh, I did wrong.
The killer is... you! Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act.
Alright.
First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Oh wait, what the? Oh, is it this one then?
Here's exactly what happened! Which is why the killer then removing the...
Oh my god.
The killer is... you! Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
What the? I'm a loser. I'm gonna lose this one.
Which is why the killer hurried to try. Then, removing the bloody...
There we go.
And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it.
Wait, hold on. If the killer tried to carry Chihiro, won't the blood drop also?
With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
And then, of course,
that could have been the end of things. But no, Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out.
It's him. Unfortunately, him.
Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Did you say this to Leon?
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence?
Didn't we already go over this already?
You need evidence! You need proof!
We went this over already.
Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo's the killer. That already revealed itself earlier in the trial, yeah. If I somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element has been added to the Truth Bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. Oh, it's that rhythm game, yeah. Let's talk about a little time about fever time, and I don't know if I should say that. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate, and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push RMB, LMB, RMB, LMB, whatever you want, honestly. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it won't be fair if you only got access to special time, right? So we also prepared something called that time, so that your opponent can use. The opponent activates that time during that bullet time battle, your temple marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to beat fever time at this point, no, never mind, I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. And surprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent would use that time. Well then, good luck and have fun. Alright, oh it's him? I thought you were gonna be the culprit.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some
The
evidence!
problem with this is it seems too easy. It actually
I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence!
There we go. Final strike, broken the
Show me
handbook.
some evidence!
This should prove it. If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Oh, he gave up already?
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
So it really is him. So what? Enough of the twists and turns of thinking Genocide Jack is a killer. No, Byakuya is a killer. No, it's actually Mondo. It actually is Mondo. Alright, grade A, that's good. 84 mono coins.
Bro! What are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that!
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No holding on! Time for the moment we've all been waiting for! Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be?
We already know. Get over this with Monokuma. We already know. Dang, come on. Why is it gotta be him? Why does he have to kill her?